Congratulations. I was curious your thoughts on the defensive spine in the second half. Particularly, they seem to be shutting down Montreal's midfield.
Yeah, look, they're a team in Montreal that passes out of every situation, whether they're winning, whether they're losing, whether they're home or away. They take a lot of risk in their build-up. I told our players that we wanted to win the ball as high up the field as possible and kind of disrupt them. There's going to be moments where they do break us down, but can't get discouraged and trust that we're going to turn them over and create chances. And while it wasn't a beautiful game by any stretch, it's an important shutout and it's an important win to kind of survive and advance in this competition. I think that's 5 pretty solid performances at home where we got results in a row. So gives everyone a little bit of confidence. I think, when you looked at the group that we had and the 23 names that we wrote on the board, it's the most kind of depth we've had with everyone being here, healthy, in good form, and had a strong bench, So I thought that overall it's a good night. Montreal does take risk, like you said. Everything they do is wide. There's not a lot in the center of the field, but we did a good job getting out, blocking crosses, and Andre had to make a big save in the first half on Bryce Duke, but after that, I thought he did his job and wasn't too busy.
Jim, it's a cup game that has merit on its own. Everybody wants to win every game that has merit on its own. When the crowd is that sparse tonight, do you say anything to your guys to try to create some internal motivation, some sort of self-going, because the crowd doesn't get you going? It normally does.
Yeah, we talked about it before the game. Obviously, the last 2 Leagues Cup games was packed house and it was loud and it was a really great atmosphere. Obviously, with the rain, with the August Friday night, a lot of people down the shore. I'm sure. Well, that was a shore. I'm sure. So look, I think that you told the guys, it's not going to be the same atmosphere, but we have to kind of manufacture that intensity and recognize it's an elimination game ourselves, and we're in control of that. So the people that did come, I thought were loud and really cheered us on and helped us. And again, it was a little bit different than the last 2 games, but I still think we kind of manufactured that intensity. Again, we could play better for sure. So could Montreal. But overall, to get a win and for Ty to get two more one-touch finish goals, that's kind of what we saw when we scouted him. At his time in Austria, and he gets rewarded for all his hard work. And that second goal is a really tough finish. It's a great ball by McGlynn for sure, but to hit it back across where it came from and curl it in the upper corner, that was a real finish, a striker's goal. So happy for Ty.
So Ty now has 3 goals in this tournament with Brace tonight. What do you think has been making his performance get better as the season has gone on?
Yeah. So look, again, obviously Julian moves on, right, and we lose a top striker. It gives Ty more opportunities, more reps with the first team players. I think the thing I'm most proud of is his work rate. He leads us in distance covered now. Him and Quinn are always 1-2 going for that in terms of how much sprinting, running, working that they do together. And I believe very much when you're a striker and you work hard, that's when I don't want to say easy goals, but the goal like the one that Sam crosses the ball, it deflects off you. That doesn't happen by coincidence. That happens because Ty's put in work the entire half, the entire game, and previous games. So I think you get rewarded for that work. And in this game, tends to reward people who work hard, and Ty's really worked hard, and he's gotten his goals now too.
Hey Jim, 2-part question for you. One, what's the injury status to Daniel? And secondly, what's the main thing you take away from tonight going into the next round?
Yeah, it sounds like Danny got a knee or cleat in the back area. I'm not positive. They're doing some tests right now, so we'll see. I don't want to overreact, but obviously you guys know how important he is. It was serious enough that he knew right away that he needed to come out of the game. And we may do an adjustment. I thought Quinn did a decent job at the 10, which is a position he's not really played before, and did a good job covering for him. And then Rafa came in at the end and deserved his minutes and played really hard and made some plays for us at the end to close the game out too.
So Sam gets another start tonight.
Yeah.
Is that just purely down to tactics, or is that kind of down to form with the other strikers? And how do you keep guys like Mika Ua going when he isn't getting those starts?
Yeah, I think, Jim, competition really motivates people. So I think it's important to always have a good stable of 3, hopefully 4, strikers pushing each other at all times. So we also have to see Sam. You know what I mean? He's a new player who we made a commitment and an investment in so far, and then now. There'll be a decision that needs to be made, obviously, at the end of the year as he's in a contract year. So if we don't see him, we're never going to know. So it's a little bit twofold. I think Mikel's been good, not great, but good. And now they're going to continue to push each other. Had a good talk with Mikel yesterday, and he agrees with my assessment. And that was basically that he hasn't been involved enough. He's at his best when he touches the ball early in the game and is involved. When now 10, 15 minutes go by and he doesn't get on the ball, which happened against Cruz Azul, because they're a great team, don't get me wrong, and they kept possession, but he just wasn't involved enough. So Sam came in, I thought, had some mistakes in the first half, a couple turnovers, but then stuck with it, worked hard, made a play on the goal, could have had a second or third goal even too with some of the opportunities that he created. So I would say a good performance from him, and Mikel came off the bench and did a good job too. So we're going to need all of them to be at their max. You guys know how hard this competition will be, and then we're right into the final 9 games. So need all 3 strikers really pushing each other.
And speaking of getting people kind of caught up to speed, anything you can tell us on the new signing and kind of the status of how long that might come to take to come together?
Yeah. So look, Danley, he's trained with us yesterday. He's done a good job. You can see his ball winning ability, the intensity, the ground he'll be able to cover. Is it going to take a couple training sessions to get used to his teammates? But I think his skill set is one that suits the Philadelphia Union. I think when you think about the diamond, he can play at the base as a 6 by himself. He can play on either side as an 8. So he's a real weapon. And look, if you start and play 2 consecutive years, pretty much every match in French League One, you can play, right? So his work rate's going to fit the city. I think the fans are going to really like him, and he's now getting up to speed. Like I always say to the players, it's our job to make him feel comfortable and welcome and teach him the way we want to play, and it's his job to just be himself. And naturally now, as the time goes by, I wish there was more than 9 games left. Trust me, I do. But, it's going to be throwing him right into the fire and seeing how he responds. But certainly playing at the level he's played at, he'll be able to adapt and adjust and be ready. He's a sweet kid, quiet, shy, which I like. But on the field, the beauty of this game is you can be a totally different person. You can be the nicest guy off the field, but you can be a bad word on the field, and that's the beauty of the game. And he's a type of kid, I can tell already, that does his talking on the field. So he's quiet, which I love, but then on the field he does his talking.
All right, with that last question, Coach, thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.